And hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Trevor and welcome to episode 17 of my modern day WWE save on TEW 2020. It's pay-per-view time, we're at Elimination Chamber. Bigged up this one, huge show. I mean, obviously it's build up to the main event. It's going to be the Elimination Chamber match to find out who's going to be a number one contender for that Universe title to face Roman at WrestleMania. Obviously we've got Brock, we've got Shinsuke Nakamura, we've got Sami Zayn, we've got Drew McIntyre, we've got Sheamus, we've got Cesaro, all battling out in the chamber to find out who to face Roman at WrestleMania. We have Big E versus Seth Rollins for the chance to face Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. We've obviously got Bobby Lashley's in a fatal four-way for his WWE Championship against AJ Styles, Edge, and Finn Balor. Obviously, we've got both the women's SmackDown and Raw Women's titles on the line, both in a triple threat. Becky going against Liz Morgan and Rhea Ripley, with Bianca Belair as the special guest referee, and obviously with Charlotte going against Shayna Baszler, Naomi, and Sasha Banks for that women's title as well. So a lot of big matches. Obviously, I've missed out a couple, but a lot of big matches. I really built these up quite well. A lot of them are doing really well. Like a lot of big heat. It's got potential to be probably the best pay-per-view we've done so far. So all I can say is please like and subscribe. That'd be really appreciated. So we've got Diamond Streamers. Please let me know what you think of this. And also, if you want to catch up on obviously on my last show, obviously to go on my SmackDown, click on the link there on the side, or you can check on the Raw as well. That was the week before. But yeah, that's enough for me chatting. Let's dive into this. It should be good. I'm excited. I think it's got potential to be the best show we've ever done, pay-per-view wise anyway. So let's find out. So let's go and book Elimination Chamber 2022. Let's go and do this. Fingers crossed, eh? It's going to be good. I've got a good feeling. So yes, we start off with, in the kickoff show, we kick off with, obviously we're not a match, but kind of a segment that I kind of put across. This one was kind of a situation of, because obviously a lot of the storylines, obviously I didn't want to stuff Elimination Chamber a lot. The Damian Priest and the Miz US title match didn't want to put on the show. So instead of just not having it on, I decided to do some sort of segment like this. To basically, as we've kind of put across on Raw, is that almost is kind of like this muscle for hire. So anyone gives him money, he will take out anyone he was asked to. And I like the idea that obviously the Miz kind of took its inspiration from KO, because obviously you saw KO take out Rey Mysterio on the Go Home show, so it makes sense that obviously you thought, well, that sounds like a good idea, maybe I can take out my opponent. Obviously we don't know the motivations of this. Obviously I like the idea the Miz we'll find out on Raw, next episode of Raw. But yeah, he takes him out. I like the situation here, but I don't think I added somebody else here on this, but the idea of this is to set off the next match as well, but also it's the kind of situation of a reason for the Miz, Andrew, and Damian Priest match to not happen. So instead of it just being not on, it's a storyline. He takes him out. He can't compete. Obviously, I forgot to put Rey comes in and sets up. I put the Miz going against Rey Mysterio, but then it makes no sense, because why would he go after Miz when he want to go after Almost? It's the one that takes him out. So obviously that sets up the match next. But 37 and pre-show, pretty good. I like that. I'm not expecting anything crazy here. But obviously the only pre-show match going to happen is obviously the match with Almost and Rey Mysterio. That gets a 39, very good, off his game, and not surprised. But I think their match on Raw was better, but for a pre-show match it does its job. Nothing really crazy. Obviously this is a more Rey's not as injured as he was in that match last week, but yeah, it's almost just too strong. I like the idea he tries to hit everything, giving it as a fighting fit Rey Mysterio is too much, and then a simple two-handed choke slam does the job. A 30 there by Almost, 42. I think that's probably because it's probably ran about better than I expected. A little bit. If Almost was a bit better, it might have got over maybe Rey's best, but that's the way it is. But so obviously that's the pre-show. So the question is so what's going to start Elimination Chamber? What's going to start it? So obviously this one was a tough one to think about, but I thought there was only one match to really kick it off. And the one I went for is obviously it's just WWE Raw Tag Team Championships on the line with the champions, RK Bro, going against the Street Profits. So the question is who's going to go. I mean, Obviously, we've set up situations that are extenuating circumstances. Some other teams that want to have a shot on this, maybe they might get involved. We've got RK Bro with kind of Riddle kind of trying to emulate Randy Orton, but maybe he's picking up aspects that from Randy Orton that's not the best. So maybe that might play into the factor. But anyway, enough of me rambling around. So the question is, who's going to win? Are we going to have new tag team champions? Are we going to have champions retaining? So the question, let's find out now. So the winner and still your WWE Raw Tag Team Champions is RK Bro for a 54. Great start to the show, especially from what I expect. Obviously, the high score is obviously Randy with a 60. But yeah, good scores all around. Obviously, Riddle 44, second best. But yeah, obviously, if Ashley's off his game, then I don't know what with. But yeah, obviously this one, it's obviously Randy's here, but doing well. But yeah, but basically this whole match, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be near falls, great stuff like that. But I like the idea of basically like Randy Orton's just near the end. Randy's just about to get the win, set up for the RKO, and then all of a sudden he gets a blind tag by Riddle. And the Riddle comes in, hits the RKO on Ford, whoever, gets the win there. I mean, obviously it's different here with I might have to put who got the pin, but I love the running punt kick. Like, yeah, with Randy just do that. He's a face, so I don't know. But yeah, so and I like the idea that basically like how Randy isn't happy with this because obviously he had it won. So sort of Riddle's kind of becoming this kind of unleashed caged animal, kind of really, unleashed type thing. And obviously Randy's like, no, I don't want you to become like me, type situation. But obviously this carries over to the next segment I want to talk about, obviously, for after the match, obviously, for 59 here, where basically Riddles keeps attacking Ford. He's properly unleashed here. I like the idea that it sets up that, yeah, he's just about to go for the punt kick, obviously, in the Matt game, but in this, goes for it. And then Randy stands in front of him going, what are you doing? We've won the match. You need to go. And obviously Riddle doesn't like this, so he takes his towel and walks out. And obviously the crowd's confused. Randy's confused, like, what's the matter with you? Type situation. So let's see where that goes up. Obviously into WrestleMania. Might be a start sign, might not. But I like the idea that, like, because we're kind of getting that now in real life with this situation with Riddle. Maybe not like he's unleashing this kind of rage that we didn't know he had. So I like the idea that he's maybe had this all along, but like maybe being with Randy's made him realise maybe that's the way I need to act. To try and unleash that rage. But Randy Orton is not a good role model in that regard. So, but we'll see where that goes in the next couple of weeks on my save. But obviously, next we going to hear from a former WWE champion in Seth Rollins talking about his big match. Obviously, next big match is going to be him against Big E. But we hear from Seth Rollins before the match for 73. Wow. Surely that's the best score we've got. Like, for promos anyway. I mean, the day I get that on a match, I'll be a very happy man. But, talking about the problem itself, nothing really crazy here. I like the idea of Seth talking about how too many people have got in his way, denied him his destiny, obviously of his vision, and what he deserves, and obviously trying to get his WrestleMania moment, because he's had his many over the years. But I like the idea that Seth's gone, no, I want my match. I want that WrestleMania moment again. I deserve it. I'm different now. I run this company. I am the best in this company. I deserve to have the title shot, the title, and everything positive coming my way. And he's gonna get his goal back. He's gonna say my vision for Raw, and I'm gonna take Big. And tonight it's gonna start by taking Big E's Royal Rumble title shot at WrestleMania, and it's gonna start tonight. So I like the idea of it's fighting talk by Seth, because obviously he's frustrated everyone gets in his way. That could, in real life, kind of puts into obviously the whole Cody, why he hates Cody, because he comes in, takes his spot, and he's like, well, this is my show, what are you doing? So I like the idea that he sees someone like Big E, like someone, and he's taking his spot, he doesn't like it. So that kind of sets up the match quite nicely. Obviously, going into this kind of one of the hottest feuds we've got going at the moment. But this match is basically the winner. Whoever wins gets the WrestleMania title shot against possibly whoever the champion is. At the moment it's Big E. At the moment, it's Bobby Lashley. I mean, could be somebody else. But yes, who's going to win? It's Big E. Going to keep this good momentum he's going ever since he lost that title to try and regain it, or is Seth going to do what he says? Take that title shot for him, and main event, possibly main event WrestleMania. Well, we'll find out now. So for 73 though, good on you, Seth. No surprise that he's getting good promo scores like that. So the winner of this match and going to WrestleMania to face the WWE champion is, for 62. Yes, it is Big E. I'm not going to do that match and do all that work I've done with Big E, and then he's not going to win. He's not going to lose title on the Gold Show. I've only seen that around a couple of times, but it only makes sense if, you know, it's in the story. But it doesn't make sense to Seth to have the title shot. Big E, he needs it more, and that's what I've done here. But yeah, it says big end in there, very good there. Obviously a 58 by Big E, a 61 by Seth. So Seth's a bit, but as you can see, it's very similar levels. But it was a bit too long, but I think I could happen with 17 minutes match of these two going against Joe. I'm just saying. But it's 62, very good. But yes, this match ends with kind of like the idea that basically Seth goes to the top, tries to hit a splash, but then Big E really straight catches him in midair. Like, we're not talking about like catches him like that. I'm talking about like literally holds him right there, and then catches him, hits the big head in out of nowhere to get the win. Really, it is what I like. Spectacular finishes. I like ones when someone counters move, it goes into a finish. I do them a lot more than I probably like to admit, but I just think they're really cool. So, but yeah, obviously, so Big E's going to WrestleMania. So obviously after that, he has time to celebrate his big victory against Seth for a 69. Very good there, and he does simple one here. He just points to the WrestleMania sign, and yeah, saying and does the gesture for the title. And yeah, so Big E's going to WrestleMania to face WWE champion. No one's in his way anymore. So it'll be interesting to see where that story goes. But yeah, so obviously find out later on who will be facing at WrestleMania. Obviously we've got the big fair four-way, so who's going to win that? We'll find out later on in the show. But obviously before that, we hear from the newly formed tag team in Drew Gulak and Ricochet. I've got to think of a cool name for them. Talking about how they're going to show people tonight that they're going to be how good they are as a team, and how good they've been training for last week. After they finally decided to be a team, you know, they're going to show people how good they really are. And that gets 34. Not surprised here. It's not going to get anything crazy because obviously it's a lower tier card feud and at the moment. But I have big plans for these guys, so I think I'm intrigued to see what they do. But yeah, as I said, talking about how they're basically it's going to show how good of a tag team they are going to be. And yeah, and it's going to start tonight, and show what a force of reckoning they can be, type situation here. But yeah, I mean, for 34, I don't expect anything crazy. There's supposed to be a down on a feud anyway, so obviously that means sets up that tag team match. Ricochet, Drew Gulak going against Angel and Mustafa Ali. Who's going to win? Is new form tag team going to lose in their first big match as a team, or Angel and Mustafa Ali going to continue making their life a living hell? But let's find out right now. So the winner of this match is 44. Actually better than I expected. Yes, of course, Drew. Ricochet. Of course they're going to win. I'm not going to do a whole storyline based on them becoming a team and then their first match they lose. Makes no sense. But obviously the highest score here is Ricochet with a 48. Drew with a 36. All pretty similar stuff, but all around very good here. Very good. I like the way they done better than I expected. I was thinking it'd be getting like the 30s, but like nearly like the mid 40s. Very good here. I'm happy with that. But yeah, obviously this one is just a simple one. Good tag team. I like the idea that Drew Gulak's isolated from most of the match, so it shows that maybe they're not as good of a tag team. The other team's better than them. But the idea that I like at the end is I've got the finish of them doing this cool. Obviously it says here it was 360 cent on. I like the idea of them doing like a doomsday device, but then Ricochet does some cool like flip at the top. So instead of just doing like a thing where he looks like they hold them up in a chair and then goes to doomsday, I like the idea that maybe he does like a moonsault over it and then they both go down together type thing. It just like so it looks more spectacular. You've got someone like Ricochet, so you got technical versus high flight. You've got to figure out a way to make it into a cool finish, right? I'm just saying, I think of a cool name for this team because I can't keep calling Gulak and Ricochet. Got to think of a cool name. So yeah, obviously if you're watching, comment in the video below. Let me know what would you call Drew Gulak and Ricochet as tag team. I can't think of one. Might have to use the generator on this game to see what it comes out with. But I think I'm intrigued to see what you guys think of that. But yeah, so that's obviously that. So they've got momentum. Hopefully that'll turn. The more they wrestle, the more this might make them into a good tag team. Hopefully I've got big plans for them, obviously. So I made big plans to put them together. So why would I not do big plans to when they are together? So obviously after that, we hear from backstage from the medical report, obviously on Damian Priest. Obviously from he got attacked in the pre-show, as we pointed out, for a 44. Yeah, this one is basically like a news report, like a medical report saying someone outside the medical room sitting there saying, you know, making up medical guy type stuff with like, you know, he's concussed, his legs out, he's not going to be able to compete tonight. But from Damian Priest, he will tonight. He promises that he will be fit enough for Raw tonight next week. Or tomorrow night, obviously, depending on this thing. But, yeah, I just think it's a likely idea. I think it's better to storyline reason for a match not happening, just it's not on the show. I just think that's a better storyline than some. So that's fine, but 44, very good there. So, obviously, after that, we hear from the Women's Royal Rumble winner, talking about how, obviously, we was pointing out she's going to be the special guest ref in the Raw Women's Championship Triple Threat to make sure that Becky doesn't do anything like cheating or shenanigans. She's going to basically call it down the middle. And obviously this gets a 61 from both. Yes, this is like talking about how she's going to be fair, she's going to be impartial. She's doing this to stop Becky from cheating. If she wins, she has to win without cheating at all. She won't get in her way. But then Becky comes in, kind of sitting there going, looking and saying, I don't care what you're saying. I don't care. Yeah, you think you're all against me. And I see, obviously, you putting yourself in is just trying to screw me from winning the title. Because I know you don't want to face me, because you knew if you face me one-on-one, I'd beat you quicker than I did. I beat you in, was it 17 seconds? 7 seconds? I beat you in less time than that. That's why you're involved in it. Not because you want to call it straight down the middle. You just don't want to face me in a fair fight. So you're going to make sure somebody else wins it, so you can face them instead of facing me. So yeah, good stuff there. 61. So the question is, will this tie into the big match? Obviously, the next match is the Raw Women's Championship Triple Threat with Becky Lynch defending her title against Liz Morgan and Rhea Ripley, with Bianca Belair as the special guest ref. So is she right? Is Becky right? Is Bianca Belair going to put down? Is just here to screw with Becky Lynch, or is Bianca Belair going to do exactly what she says and going to call it straight down the middle? But let's find out who the winner is. So who's going to go and face Bianca Belair at WrestleMania for that? Who's going to face? Who's she going to face? What two champions she going to face? Let's find out. And still WWE Raw Women's Champion is Becky Lynch. Yeah, I'm not going to take the title off. I mean, I know I could have easily done a shock, but there's no point. I don't think them two are there yet. It's pretty much a standard match here, but yeah, 15 minutes, disarmer, 52, very good. Liz Morgan lowest, but she's lower card, but I'm trying my best to try and build her up, so that's cool. But the way I put this match is that the great match, all three women getting their falls. You know, it's a very competitive triple threats. WWE do normally do really well. But I like the idea that all three women are not happy with Bianca Belair's officiating. I like that. It's like, it's not just Becky. It's like Rhea Ripley thinks she's too slow. Liz thinks she's counting too slow, or she wasn't in the right position. She didn't see this. That kind of stuff in the match. Because, you know, I don't want it to be tension with just Becky, because it's like all three. It just makes it more of a competitive match, I think, anyway. But yeah, I think the best bit is obviously the end. The ending I've got here. So it's disarmor here, but like the idea, Becky. What's got Liz Morgan hits her finisher in Rhea Ripley, and then Becky Lynch pushes her out of the ring, and then kind of takes the pin. And obviously Bianca Belair doesn't want to do it, but she's like, and Becky's like, count it. She's got no choice but to count it. She wants to be, but she is the face, so she has to be like great officiating. So she counts it 1, a 2, a 3, reluctantly, and Becky is still your Raw Women's Champion. But yeah, obviously Becky just killing it at 56. At 52, I think that's very good. Obviously, I can't wait to see if I can get these kind of matches up to a 70. That's my goal for the entire save. If I can start getting the women's matches, the men's matches, to start getting consistently 70s, that'd be my mission. But yeah, so obviously that means we're getting Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, WrestleMania, the rematch of SummerSlam. But obviously this there's a nice little altercation at the end. Obviously this is not the end of this. Obviously at the end where we've got for a 65, very good there, with basically Becky happy that she won. I mean, Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch face off with Becky holding the title high, kind of single. As I said, I like symbolism and I like images where it shows where everyone's at. I like it here. And yes, that sets up. I've got some interesting plans for the story for this one. So it's all been set up. So WrestleMania, that's a locked one. That's a locked WrestleMania match. That's definitely happening. I know it happened in real life, but I've got a different twist to it than what they did in real life. So obviously wait to see what happens there. Obviously we've got another big match obviously set up. We've got Seth, Big E, but another one we've got big is obviously KO and Dominic Mysterio going after each other and facing off. But obviously Dominic Mysterio wants to have some strong words with KO because he's not happy with the guy for what he did to his father on the Go Home Show of Raw a couple of days ago. For a 37, that's fine. I'm not against that. It's what he's at that level at the moment. I haven't pushed him. I'm just about pushing him. So 37, enough time, enough probably on TV. He should be good. But yeah, this one's simple here. Just saying he's going to pay for what he did to his father, and he's gonna. It's been a kind of like, you know, a different side, but this is a different side. This is the corner of Dominic's mind that he normally doesn't unleash, but because of KO, what he did to his father, he's going to unleash that tonight. So, you know, KO better watch out. So tough talk there by Dominic. So it'll be interesting to see if that kind of aggression comes to bite him in the ass in their match. That is next, obviously, the winner. So who's going to win? It's going to be KO, experience versus youth. Who's going to win? So we'll find out. So the winner of this match is, for 52, yes, KO did not win. Dominic still gets the shock win. But look at 34 there, 54 from 52. Very good here. I'm actually very impressed by that. Very good. A lot of the matches actually kind of got to expectations I thought they would. But yeah, I mean, this one's a simple thing of like KO counters everything Dominic Mysterio does because of his experience. He knows what. He knows, and obviously Dominic's got rage, so he's using that against him. But I mean, I could have done a roll-up here. Like, I was tempted to do like a simple roll-up. You know, it's, you know, roll-up, quick win, but I don't want it to be a thing of like it's a fluke. I want it to show that Dominic's really good here. So I like the idea that basically like it gets control of him. Through the match, it's like his hatred and his anger gets to him. But then he goes out, composes himself. And maybe I like the idea of like he composed himself. But then he sees someone's wearing his father's mask. And he takes that mask and he wears his father's mask. And that gives him the confidence and the composure to get back into the match. Obviously, in the end, he hits a 619 and goes up. But I like the idea he hits a frog splash. Homage to his real father. Yes, we'll go in there. Eddie Guerrero. And yeah, gets the win there. And yeah, it's a shock win, but I don't want to do a roll up because it's not a fluke. It's supposed to be a show that Dominic's becoming this force to be reckoned with in the ring, and that his father. But I like the other homage, like he was out of control, but then he took his father and it composed him. So maybe that's a sign he might get back together or might team together. I don't know. I'm not setting up anything now. Just thought it'd be cool. So obviously after that we hear from. Well, let's see if I got this right. Hear from the women's champion, the SmackDown women's champion, and Shayna Baszler talking backstage, kind of strategizing more. Charlotte Flair doing the thing, and Shayna Baszler has other plans. But hopefully this is where, hopefully I've booked this right. Let's see who's next. Yeah, exactly what I thought. 38. Ouch. That's got to hurt. That's not great, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But this one was kind of a situation I like the idea that Charlotte goes to kind of saying, like, just showing the basis, we work well together. Yeah, we work well, you know, brains brawn type situation. I think what we should do in the match, we should team up, we should take both Sasha, we should take Naomi out, and just you and me, and then we can show people why we're better. And I like the idea that Shane is like, I helped you once because it benefited me. I didn't help because, you know, I didn't help because, you know what, because I did it because, I want to help you out. I did it because it benefited me by taking it, because you helped me take out someone in Sasha Banks that I despise. So of course I'm going to take it, but that's only a one-shot deal. In this match, it's all women for themselves, and I've got plans. I want to become women's champion, SmackDown women's champion. So don't think I'm going to work for you, champ, because I'm taking your title tonight. And then she like touches the title, and then walks out, and Charlotte's like, okay, that ain't got a call in the plan. But so 38, that's alright. But obviously after that, we obviously hear from the other two of that fatal 4-way. It is obviously Sasha Banks and Naomi kind of sitting there going, it's the same thing, all women for themselves, but it's not going to affect our friendship. For 47, that's more like it. That's what I like. And that's more like what I mean. She doesn't follow a script without a script. Might have to remember that future reference. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But yeah, this one was like Naomi talking, Sasha Banks saying, it's nice to see you back. Sad to see you well. But I'm going to do anything to win that women's title tonight. I might do things you might not agree with. But just remember, we can still be friends. And obviously Sasha Banks says, I agree. And shake hands. So it feels like it's the opposite way around. Sasha Banks and Naomi might help each other, might not. More of a friendship. Charlotte Flair, Shayna Baszler, not on the same page. So it's going to be interesting to see how this match turns out. But yes, that's obviously matches next. The Fatal 4-way for the SmackDown Women's Champion. You've got Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Shayna Baszler. Who's going to walk in to WrestleMania as the Women's Champion? SmackDown Women's Champions. Are we going to have a new champion, or is Charlotte going to keep her title? We'll find out now. So the winner of this match, and still your WWE SmackDown Women's Champion in Charlotte Flair for a 42. Very good. Obviously, it seems to be everything was working here. 46, Charlotte's the best performer. Obviously, Shayna Baszler's week 33, but I'm working on that. But yeah, this one, I like Fatal 4-ways, triple threats. They always seem to, because way you can, if you book it right, you can do a good thing here. But I like the idea of basically, near fall after near fall of women having their own moment to shine, as they say. But I like the match ending. Sasha Banks had a submission locked on Shayna Baszler, but then Charlotte hits a natural selection on her from out of nowhere. Obviously, then was it Naomi came in, kicks her, does a nice little boot to the face, hits another natural selection on Sasha Banks. Gets the pin, gets the win, and is still your SmackDown Women's Champion. So I haven't shown. Obviously, it's not as clear cut with who's going to face her at WrestleMania. I've got a plan. I'm telling you what that plan is. You have to keep watching the videos to find out. But it's going to be. I think you might like it. But obviously, Charlotte is still champion, so we'll find out in the next couple of weeks on SmackDown who she's going to face at WrestleMania. But it'll be interesting. But obviously, one match that we kind of possibly do know that happened at WrestleMania is obviously possibly Bobby Lashley going against Big E. But first, he's got to defend his title against three other men. Another Fatal 4-way tonight. But before that, he's backstage with the Hurt Business, saying he's got other plans for tonight for this Fatal 4-way. For 42, very good there. Struggle script, that makes sense. But the idea I've got here is the idea that I should have put Big E in, MVP in here, but the idea is they're all strategizing. Okay, what about you come in? Just when the right moment, I'll come in, I'll take him out, you take him out, and then Bobby's just listening, going, guys don't understand. You're not getting involved tonight. I'm facing all three of these men alone. Because I need to prove why I'm the almighty. And I hear the talk of people backstage. All the people were saying there, I'm nothing without you guys. And as leader, I've got to prove that I'm better. That's why they call me the almighty. Why I should lead this business of hurt type situation. So you guys are not coming out tonight. Don't get involved at all. But yeah, I have toned it down a little bit, but I like the idea that for this storyline, Bobby Lashley's he can't be tamed, he can't be controlled. MVP and all that are trying to strategize, but he's going, no. The reason this Fatal 4-way happens is because of his arrogance. Of that, he always faced them, they all won a match done with tension. Instead of facing them one-on-one, he went, I faced them all. And he did try to use sneaky tactics, but then it didn't work. So Bobby's like, okay, I'm just going to do what I do best, hurt people. And I can only do that by myself. So that's where the story here going in. So, so obviously that sets up the WWE Championship match very nicely. So let's find out. So, who is going to face Big E at WrestleMania? Is it going to be Bobby Lashley? Is it going to be Edge? Is it going to be AJ Styles? Is it going to be Finn Balor? Well, let's find out. Let's find out who is going to be WWE Champion going into WrestleMania. Let's find out. And the winner And still your WWE champion. And yes, it's Bobby Lashley. Again, I know there's no surprises here, but I think I'm setting up bigger matches on the card. But yeah, for a 50, very good here. For a 20-minute match, 50, very good. I mean, Bobby's the, I think Edge, was it AJ Styles, not surprised, phenomenal, not surprised there. High score there with 59, a 56 from Edge, 44 by Finn Balor, and a 57. So everyone just performed pretty well. Finn Balor I will do better with. Everyone's kind of off the game, but still get a 50. I'm happy with, personally. But yeah, this one is kind of another great match. Everyone gets their thing in. Triple threat for always. You know where this goes. But the way I'll end this, like the idea, Edge hits a spear on Bobby Lashley, and AJ shows up and breaks up the count. They start fighting into the crowd because they want to set up, because obviously there's a match there, and you know what, I've been setting up for ages, you know that match is happening at WrestleMania. But yeah, and obviously in the crowd you got Finn goes top, trying to hit the coup de grace. Bobby gets out of the way, and just when Finn Balor can just get his bearings, boom, hits the spear, then locks in the hurt lock, and obviously Finn Balor's out, so he's already knocked out, and he's out, and the ref calls it. Bobby Lashley wins the match and still your WWE champion. But again, another symbolism here. After the match, obviously Bobby Lashley celebrating, and instead of them being in the ring, I like the idea that Big E comes out for 59, and he's sitting there at the top, like, you know, like showing the gesture, and then Bobby Lashley's holding the title high from he's in the ring, he's on top of the stage. Again, I know it's similar, but I just love symbolism. I love symbolism. I just love it. So again, that's a match set. So that's two matches we're set for WrestleMania. We've got Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and we've got Big E versus Bobby Lashley. WrestleMania. So that's two big ones, two big matches. So I've got some interesting story beats for that one. So definitely look out for that. But obviously, before we have that, we've got one more piece of business to decide in this pay-per-view. Who's going to face Roman at WrestleMania? Obviously, we've got the obvious one, but we've got a big chamber match in the main event. But before that, we've got Drew McIntyre, we've got Cesaro confronting the Beast incarnate in his own dressing room. It's not a great idea, but it shows the confidence and how much they're not intimidated by Brock. Obviously, so they go into his dressing room for his 57. Yeah, this one is a simple one here. I like the idea that you're thinking, why don't they all go now? I'm thinking, well, Cesaro's got something to prove. Drew's beating him. Drew's wants to take him out. He's not intimidated by him. We showed that a couple weeks ago. I could go for the others, but I think Nakamura could. But I think he's already proved why he's with that in his Continental title win in the go home show on SmackDown. But this one is a simple thing of, yeah, comes in. You've got Paul Heyman outside going, no, you don't want to go. This beat, you do not want to go in there. Pushes him out of the way, and he goes in. And basically the idea of them confronting him, going, got that Drew saying, I know you're confident. I've seen it before. You think he's going to waltz into this chamber. You're going to go in, win it all, without breaking a sweat. And he like, it's not going to work. Because me, Drew McIntyre, Cesaro, we're the toughest guys there is. It's not going to be easy to beat us. And you think it's just going to be easy? I want to get my WrestleMania moment that was denied years ago. I beat you once. I know I can beat you again. And then you got Cesaro saying, I want my WrestleMania moment. I haven't had it. It was taken away from me through Paul Heyman of all people. I like the idea that Paul Heyman's like, oh yeah, that kind of was me, wasn't it? So like, he wants his moment. So these go both basically the whole story is Brock's, like they see Brock as this guy taking their moments away from them, and they're not going to let it happen. So they just gave, it's kind of a intense warning to say it's not going to be easy. So just don't think you can just walk in and just win it with no sweat, because this is they've all got legitimate reasons for wanting to face Roman at WrestleMania. So, and obviously then we have a intense stare down, and that's how it ends the kind of segment. So yeah, and then it kind of build up to, yes, the main event. This one had to change. I was going to put Elimination Chamber. It is still Elimination Chamber in the booking. I just, on the game, it wouldn't, Triple H wouldn't allow it. He thought it would harm the match, so I decided not to do it. But in the game, it's going to be a 6-way, just normal match. But in my booking, it's Elimination Chamber match. So yes, obviously this Elimination Chamber match, the winner facing Roman at WrestleMania for the Universal Championship. We've got Brock, we've got Shinsuke Nakamura, we've got Sami Zayn, we've got Drew McIntyre, we've got Sheamus, and we've got Cesaro. So who's gonna be basically #1 contender and face Roman for that title? All legit, legit big matches we could do there. So let's find out who I've chosen to win. Let's hope this doesn't annoy anyone. Let's find out. So the winner and going to WrestleMania to face Roman Reigns is, for 62. Yes, I went for Brock. I know what you're saying. Brock versus Roman again, but you kind of have to do the match. The problem with the match was they put all their efforts into that one match. I haven't. I've put my eggs in different baskets, so it won't be as bad. But obviously Brock's always game. A lot of people have the game for 62 here, but obviously the biggest scorer is Brock, obviously. Shinsuke now 59, 55 by Drew. Lowest score is obviously Sheamus, but that's fine. Yeah, it's actually where you want. 15 minutes, a little bit longer, but apparently Brock couldn't last that long. But it's a decent end to the main event. 62. I think it's best match so far on the best match on the, well, not on the game, but the best match of the night so far. The main event should be, I would say, it should be. But yeah, the way this will start, obviously, I like the Nakamura and Sami Zayn start at the first two. Then obviously, then Sheamus, Cesaro comes in, then Drew comes in, then Brock Lesnar comes in. That kind of stuff, and then we start going eliminations. I put here that Sami Zayn gets eliminated by Brock, Nakamura eliminates Sheamus, Drew eliminates Nakamura, then Brock pins Cesaro, and then the final two is Brock and Drew, and then final two have back and forth. He tries to go for the Claymore kick by Drew, moves out of the way, Brock moves out of the way, hits one or two German suplexes, hit the F5, 1, 2, 3. And he's gone to face Roman. I know in real life I would hate doing this, but I think I did it because you kind of have to do the match. WrestleMania, I think there's the matches I could do, I want to do, some people suggest I could do them later down the road. But I think if you got Brock, you got Roman, you kind of have to do the match. But the funny thing is I haven't done, this is like, I think I built up quite well that this match should be a bit more intrigued. But this will be the final fight. I don't think I'm going to be doing it a lot on my save. So I think it is a big match and it will be WrestleMania. So I am going to do it. But yes, 62 to end the show. But it's not the end of... obviously afterwards we end with Brock celebrating in the ring, pointing to the sign. Fireworks go off. I know I've done it too many times, but it's the only way I can think of. I could have done Roman come down, but I don't think he needs to at this point. And yeah, for 61 to end the show with just basically Brock Lesnar celebrating the victory. Basically, so he's going to WrestleMania to face Roman. I'm not going to put anything crazy, mind any stipulations or anything like that. It's just going to be a straight up fight that I think two best scored on the game could get the best matchup to save so far. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But yeah, that ends our Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. I think was it 64 last time, 54 last time, 56 for our day, or was it day one? So the question is, if we can get that or better, I think it's got a potential to get, I'm going to go with a 55 or 54. If it gets better than that, I'll be a happy man. So let's find out. So the winner, and I mean not winner, so let's find out. Let's see what this show got. Let's see what this Elimination Chamber pay-per-view got. And the score is 64. Wow. The best show we've done so far. Wow, that shocked me. I honestly think it might be the main event 62, done very good, but everything's very consistent. I mean, maybe that 73 by Shane, Seth Rollins, 73, yeah, for that promo probably helped out, but everything was pretty good. I mean, the matches hold up. Obviously, the main event was the best match of the night, but we obviously got some really good stuff like the 50 there by the triple fatal four-way, the 44 from Becky. Was it the women's triple threat done with it, 42, 44. Good numbers. I think it's going well. I mean, it's really to see if any people are being benefited. I hope Big E does. But 64, I'm happy with it. I forget all those weird stuff. That's fine. I'm not really thinking about that. Yeah, I mean, but 64. But the show didn't result in any positive change. I've got to start changing. I've got to figure out how to play this game and that. But again, it's my first free pay-per-view so far. So it's the best one we've done so far. So progression is coming this way. So yeah, 64 best score best pay-per-view score we've got so far. So, yeah, I'm excited. So, yeah, let's hope we can beat it at WrestleMania. But at the moment, best so far. So, good stuff. So, move on to WrestleMania it is. So, yeah, 64. The best pay-per-view score we've got in this save so far. Very happy with that. I think the main event done well. I think a lot of the matches were basically the level I was. Obviously, we can't forget that 73 by Seth Rollins. I mean, we can't be that surprised. If you look in real life, he's pretty much killing it in promo with Cody. Well, we'll talk about Cody. Cody's been killing it. Well, I'll talk about that another time. But yeah, but enough of that. But yeah, really good score, 64, best one. I was worried that it might get like a disappointing score like Royal Rumble that didn't do as well. But I think it done really well, so I'm really happy with that. So obviously that's 3 pay-per-views down now. Obviously the next one's going to be the big one, the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania. So I've got, just to point out, it's just going to be one show. It's not going to be two nights. It's going to be 3 to 4 hour show, I hope, stacked with great matches. We've already got 2 set. We've got Big E going against Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. We've got Becky Lynch going against Bianca Belair for that Raw Women's Championship, and we've got Brock versus Roman for that Universal title. I know, but you got to do the match. You know, I'm trying to book it my own way, but also keep it in line with what it would have put. Sort of what it would be as well. So yes, so we've got 3 matches set. Obviously got more planned. So obviously if you want to make sure you find out what they are and you don't miss any of it, please like and subscribe. Obviously we want a good 33 at the moment. So a slow build to try and build up that subscriber rate. But it's going well. I think this series is done well, I think. But I have plans for more. So obviously join me next week when I will be doing the show after Elimination Chamber Raw. Obviously, it's got a couple of little interesting stuff I plan to do for that. So please come and see that. And yeah, and I'll be back next week for more fantasy booking on TEW 2020. Should be good. It's going well. So we've got past Elimination Chamber in a couple more weeks. We're finally on maybe the last stretch of the road to WrestleMania. So like and subscribe for that, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you next week for more fantasy booking. Until then, have an awesome week. Bye everyone. Bye.